Hi everyone, welcome to this short workout. Today there was an ice storm and we were supposed to do promotion testing for Taekwondo, my child and I. So instead of doing that, because there are icy roads, I am going to do a little class so you can follow me along. And the focus is going to be all the things that I like to do to help me with Taekwondo. So we'll start, this will be a little non-traditional as far as the classical work goes. We're just gonna play around a little bit. So put one spring on and have a block ready. So whatever spring is closest to you, you can also change the springs. And I'll come to this side first so you can see what I'm doing. It's a version of Eve's lunge. We're gonna do this a few different ways. So take your toes under, take the spring that's closest to you, walk your outside foot forward, square the hips and the shoulders. You can place one hand on the foot bar, which I recommend. Reach the heel back and take the leg on the reformer back and come into a lunge. So this stays bent, maybe even going forward. Hips are still square, then pull yourself back up. We'll do two more just like that. So this really helps with high kicking. I've noticed it builds strength, it builds a little bit of balance, and it really gets you stretched out. Next one, if you can do it, put your hands together at your heart center and do the same thing. Little more of a balance challenge, then you have to pull yourself back up. And take it back. And come back up. Now we'll do another set where both legs get to go straight. Try and reach that foot down, equal weight on both the inside and the outside of the foot, and then come back in. Two more just like that. Reach it back, and you all know me. Whatever spring setting you need that works is what you need to use. One more. And that's a nice stretch and a little bit of work. So we'll do that on the other side. So take your foot off carefully, walk around to the other side. You might be thinking like, that's a lot of work just to begin with. Yes, it is. Take your foot down, knee is down, reach the foot back into the shoulder block. Walk this foot forward, nice and close. That way you can square your hips and your shoulders. Take it back, come into that low lunge and come back up. And we'll keep hands on for 3 and then do 2 without. Last one, really come into that nice low squat lunge. Back up, hands at heart center or wherever you need to be to balance. And pull it back up. One side might be much different than the other. That's usually the case. And back up, hard for me. Then both legs go straight, reach through the full foot, come back in. And I like to look down a little bit just to see what my foot is doing, but trying to reach up through the top of the head. One more. And come back in. So that helps us with high kicks, strength, and balance. Now, 1 to 2 springs, totally your choice. I will be doing 2, but I've been doing this a while. I sometimes like to do 3. Grab your block, put it in your headrest. Then you'll lie down. That was a lot of work. I'm already breathing. Get into what I like to call the get cozy position. You want to line up the shoulders and the hips. This leg can be anywhere you want. It can also be straight. But get to a place where you can take your top foot completely flat and then this knee is in parallel. So wherever you need to be, you'll press out, come back in, and see if you can bring yourself all the way in. Out and back in. Now this is kind of like when we chamber for those kicks, we need a nice solid foot and we need that knee to come up. So we'll just do 5 here. Sometimes I like to do 10, but we're gonna play around with some other stuff. Last one, and back. Now, take the heel to the end of the foot bar, right at that corner. Hip and shoulders still need to stay stacked. Come into external rotation. So you're not leaning back. You're keeping yourself nice and straight. Press through the heel of the foot, go out, and as you come in, make sure that hip stays where it needs to be. And we'll do 5 here. Two more. I like to put my hand on my hip because then I know if it's doing something it's not supposed to, like rolling back. Then come in, ball of the foot comes here, lift the heel up. This is definitely one where your body's going to want to go backwards. So see how straight you can be. Press it out. Look how long we are here and allow that to come in. Really good for the roundhouse kick. This is my opinion, but I like it for the roundhouse kick. I also like this because we're pressing into the ball of the foot like we would do for our front kick. We want those toes to be back and we want to kick with the ball of the foot. So you can come up, and we have to do that on the other side. So 5, 5, and 5. You'll be able to see me and you'll be able to see the logo on the back of my shirt. So come on over. Get yourself cozy here. So you can use both of your feet to scoot yourself into position. One side might feel more comfortable than the other, that's okay. Then the bottom leg will either go straight or you'll bend it in and keep it picked up. You're in parallel as you press out. Through the full foot is where you want to reach and come back in. See how far in you can get. Out and back in. So I really have to pull in on this side. That just gives me some information about my body. Maybe it's a little tight, or maybe it's a little tired from practicing. Last one in. Take the heel to the corner and come into that external rotation without sinking back. So we still want to be stacked here. Press out and back in. So having the hand right on the hip can sometimes help you know what you're doing. And if you need one spring, I like to start people with one light spring and then work them up. I only have heavy springs on here, so I started heavy and just continued to work heavy. But sometimes you don't need all that heavy work. Then bring yourself onto the ball of the foot, press out and come back in. You're still in external rotation. Reach back in. 3 more. This will be short. Just a short little session. Last one. And come back in. All right. Bring yourself in and come up. You can get rid of the block. You can toss it wherever you want to toss it. Bring the foot bar down. I'm already on 2 springs. You'll want to be on 2 springs as we go into coordination. Lay back down. And I'm using a new mic, so if it sounds funny, I guess we'll just figure that out as we go. Reach the arms up, then pull the upper arms down. Legs come in. Curl up. You're trying to get your knees to your shoulders as you curl in. Inhale, everything goes out. Open, close the legs. Pull the legs in, then the arms. That's coordination. Reach everything out. Open, close, pull back in, and arms come in. We get 3 more like this. Probably thinking like, what does this have to do with martial arts? Well, this is a lot of core work. Plus, it's really good for the arms. 2 more just like that. Last one. Then come up. We'll twist around, come to 1 spring, your favorite spring. So if you need to change springs, you can. I would say put your headrest down, foot bar still stays down, grab your long box for your spring. Maybe a light or a medium would be good for you. Maybe a heavy. I'll be using one heavy. If you use a heavier spring, you'll need a sticky pad. So grab that, put that at the end of your long box, and your head's going to go towards your tower or towards your headrest. You'll come on to your belly with your shoulders over the top. And then really see if you can lengthen those legs and get as much room in front of the hips as possible. Bring the hands to your carriage. Squeeze in. Activate your back muscles. Your thumbs are on top. See how long you can be from your head to your toes. As you pull your arms in, I want you to think that you are lengthening out through the top of your head to lift your heart up, and then come back down. So reach and lift and come back down. This is really great when we're kicking. It engages our back muscles. And so when we're kicking and we're pulling our arms in or pulling them from to the side, we need the strength in our upper back. So this can help us utilize our back muscles so we have better kicks. Come up and down. Then just a straight up bowl, pull straps. I won't make all the noise, so I'll put the handles on here. Same hand movement if you can. You'll reach into the straps. When you feel engagement in your back, lift your heart up and then come back down. 2 more like that. Still stay long all the way through to your toes. Hang those up. You'll come off to the side and get rid of your pad. Boo. And put an extra spring on. Pick up the handles for backstroke. If you liked coordination, you can do coordination again. You can also do anything in the ab series that you want, because that's just really good core strength. Take your seat all the way to the end of your box. Roll yourself back into an upper ab curl. I'm going to adjust my mic just in case. Take your hands above the head. Reach arms and legs up, out to the side, into your 100, and pull back in. Up, out, round, in. This is so powerful. We have to figure out how to use all the parts of our body and then reverse while we are engaging our core. I love that. Really good for free sparring. Got to be ready for anything. So now we can come up. And I'm trying to decide. Let's do reverse teaser. We got to get some teaser in. And I know that sometimes people on the reformer don't love the teasers much, but we'll add 3 springs. Your headrest is still down, so you'll turn and put your feet in it. I don't want your feet to come off of the headrest while we do this. You always have to have at least one on. So come to the front of your box this way. So opposite. Reach both arms up. Straight arms. Reach to the pinky side of your hand. Reach through your heels and start to come back. Roll the spine back. Arms get to open. And head gets to go back. Opening up the chest. Tuck the chin. Reach to the pinky side of the hand. And come up, straight arms. The straighter your arms are when you're on your way up, a little bit harder it is. So it's something that you can work toward. Come back and up. So am I actually pulling on these? No, but if they were short, I might move my carriage a little. But there's 3 springs on to stabilize the carriage, not because we're using it, because I could come up without using these at all, but I'm practicing the hand movement for teaser. So let's change this. Let's take the right leg up. As I go down, my toe goes down, opening up the front of the hip. Then as I tuck my chin, I engage my back body and lift the foot with my eye line. One more like that. And that is our teaser. We're just doing it with one leg. And lift, put that down, take the other up, this side. Come into that full extension. Reach the toe away as you come up. I like to say like you're trying to touch the wall or whatever is farthest away from you. And curl and come up. Come off and then take the box off. You'll all love this next one. I promise. I don't promise. You're probably not gonna love it. So you put your foot bar up. I like 2 springs for this. We'll do our long stretch series because we do a lot of push-ups. I don't know about you, but if you don't do something right, you got to do your push-ups. So let's go into a long stretch. You can hold a plank, which maybe we'll do 2 sets. We'll hold a plank for 5 seconds, and then we'll do a long stretch and then go into down stretch. The easiest way to get into this, in my opinion, is to not put your knees down on the carriage, because then you're lifting up and pressing back at the same time. So if you haven't tried getting on from the side, maybe just try it this time. You take both of your hands and headrest comes up, and you can put a pad there if you need, if you're worried about slipping. Take one foot in, the ball of the foot in. Know where that is, and then come to this position, pressing down. I want you to just think that you're reaching this leg back and holding it, then just picking up the other one and putting it in. See how easy that was? And then we hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, half, no, just kidding, 0, and then step off to the side. Now, if you want to try your long stretch, we'll get into it the same way. You can hold your plank again, otherwise, we'll do 3 long stretches. So take that down, see where your foot is, make sure it's secure. And when it's secure, you really want to be using your hip and your butt to get you into place. Also really good for kicking. And then press, push down, then come into it, reach your legs back, and then as you come in, pull your feet towards you a little bit. So I'm not using my arms are there like I'm planking, but you go back and then you pull in. Then the knees come down, the feet come to the shoulder blocks, taking the hips forward and the heart forward, we press back and then see how high we can reach our heart for down stretch. Last one here. Bring the knees forward, press down to lift up and stand. See if you can make a straight line from your ankle all the way up to your hip. Reach down through the heels, lift your toes up. I don't care if you're back here. I want you to be in a place where you feel like you have room to stretch. Lift the ribs, take the legs back, pull them in. This is elephant. Head gets to hang, stretch the back of the body, lift the ribs up. As you lift the ribs up, I want you to think that they're connected to your heels. So they're here. As they come in, the ribs lift more. As you go out, you try and lift the ribs up. So they're connected. 2 more. Last one. Come off carefully to the side. Just a short one. We're just doing a short workout. Feet and straps, everyone likes it, so let's do it. Whatever 2 straps that you want, you'll be able to substitute just frogs and circles, or you can do short spine along with me. We'll see how this works on the mic. Headrest comes down unless you're only doing frogs and circles. Short straps for short spine. You can also use short straps for frogs and circles. See if you can bring the heels together, and then at the same time that you lift your hips, pull this toward you to put your feet in at the same time. Heels still reach together. We'll all start with a couple of frogs. Press out and come back in. This feels nice. So let's go out so you all know what circles are. You're at a high angle, small circles, nice and high. I also like to call these the pelvic circles because they're really good for your pelvic diaphragm. And then we switch. You're trying to have your legs do the same thing, but they're also doing it the opposite way. So sometimes that gets weird, and that's okay. Bring the heels together. You can do either of those, or you can go into short spine with me. Heels are together. Reach the legs out. If you don't feel like you have enough support or you're now panicking, you can always move your arms back here. That's okay. I'll do one just like that. So take the legs in, reach the tailbone down, come out. How long can you get? Reach the heels up, pull the legs in, and take the spine down. And then when you can't get the spine down anymore, that's when you pull your heels to your seat. Okay? So you can continue to do that there. You can hold here, wherever you need to hold. Otherwise, you go out, press the arms down to lift up, then bring the legs in. Keep the heels where they are. See how far down you can get the spine. Then pull the heels down and then back out. See if you can keep tension in your strap so that you're working the whole time. And it's okay if you skip a little, right? It'll take some time. Okay, that was nice. Let's take those off. Okay, we're gonna go back to what we did at the beginning. So we can work the same muscles we worked before. One spring closest to you, and I will come to this side. So let's do the lungy version first. Square the hips and the shoulders. Take yourself down into that lunge and come back up. Take it down into a lunge and come back up. Hands can be anywhere. Then take both legs long. See how much you can stretch. Don't overstretch it. And come back. One more. We only have one more exercise that we'll do after we do the other side. Can't forget the other side. So let's walk around. Place your foot against the shoulder block. Get into that position. Hands on or off, lunge version. So this leg bends and you come in. So you can be anywhere you want to with the arms. Then we have two where we just go back, both legs, and come in. Both legs straighten and come in. Last one. 2 springs for me. You can do this one on one spring. It's side splits, which is really great, right? Because we're in class and we're trying to do splits and stuff, which is super fun. So we'll just do it on top of the reformer with some spring tension. This split is in parallel. My knees actually knock in, so it might look a little weird. So I need to focus on my toes pointing forward. Hands can be anywhere. You go out and you come back in. And I need 2 springs because that feels safer for me. But I only have heavy springs. So I really have to work to push out, which is actually kind of nice. And back in. And then we got one more maybe you'll know this one, but like in class, we go out into like a split, and then from there we come down and we stretch, 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 stretch. And then I have to hold that carriage still to come back up and back in. I don't know if you do that in your classes. So let me turn around. We do the other side. So in parallel, start wherever you need to. Hands can be out as well. They can be anywhere you need them to be. I like to make sure that I'm maintaining space here. So I do like to have my hands on my hips. I didn't count the other side, so we're gonna call this one good. And then as we go down, I have to hold that heavy spring. It is different for me on this side to stretch, 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 and then to come back up. We'll see if I keep that in or maybe block it out. I don't know what it looked like. Come in, hold it there, walk it, and then bring your foot in and step down, and voila. There are some super fun things that you can do to help you with your martial arts practice. You can use the springs on the reformer to create flexibility, because Pilates is all about gaining strength and flexibility at the same exact time. Like, we don't really have to do a bunch of separate exercises. We're not always focusing on flexibility with some things and strength with other things. It combines both at the same time. And your goal is always to try and work as many muscles as possible. And so that just helps balance us out, gives us that balance, that super strong core work, all the good stuff. So hopefully you like this workout. If you don't know anything about martial arts, then you just got a lot of like stretchy, splitty, and strength stuff today. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to tell all your friends to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.